In the era of artificial intelligence, people are growing like anything, but still nobody wants to talk to a robot. I'm sure you guys won't, right? So everybody is looking for the human touch. And for the human touch, we need something special. And what is that particular thing called? It's called empathy. But most of the people are failing to comply with empathy, or rather, they are not able to understand or adopt it. Now, what could be the reason behind it? The major reason, in my opinion, is it's not our natural habitat. It's a skill that we need to adopt. And whenever we are trying to adopt something, there is a process to be followed. I don't know how many people talked about the process to be followed in order to gain or in order to adopt empathy. See, empathy is not something that will come from within every time. It's not possible. Most of the people will say, why would I empathize? What's in it for me? After carefully observing for a lot of years, what I have found out typically that is a formula called AAA. I'm sure nobody has talked about this and you guys have never ever heard about this because it's my theory. I created it. I thought about it. So if you really want to adopt this particular skill called empathy, then you need to think about this AAA formula. If this AAA formula fits into you properly, you will definitely be able to empathize properly. Because, as I said, it's not our natural habitat. So what is this particular AAA formula? So the first A stands for acceptance. And the second A stands for apology. And the third A stands for arrogance. So why these three things are important? Because we are human beings and these three things are there in each and every person. So in order to empathize properly, we have to control these AAA. Now how to do that? How they are correlated? Well, let me tell you. The first A, as I said, acceptance. Most of the people are failing to accept. Accept what? Accept everything. Your positive things, your negative things, other people's positive things, and their negative things as well. And moreover, business, reality, right? Most of the people are failing to do that. They're not able to accept. And for that reason, what's going to happening? So we are leading to the second day, that is apology. The more you accept, you will more apologize. Why? Because I think you guys are already aware that most of the cases, most of the people have negative things comparing to positive things. So for that reason, whenever we are accepting, you will find it out that you are apologizing a little more. So what's the harm in apologizing after accepting? People are not doing that. So if you're not accepting, you will not be able to apologize. And if you do not apologize at all, the third A will come into picture. That's called arrogance. So more you apologize, your arrogance will be lower. And you less you apologize, your arrogance will be higher. So acceptance and apology are directly proportionate. But apology and arrogance are reversely proportionate. So more apology, less arrogance. More arrogance, less apology, right? So these triangle that you need to think about every now and then whenever you are trying to deal with different business. In business, empathy is inevitable part nowadays in order to do or in order to get more business, in order to get good clientele, in order to communicate effectively, in order to create a good relationship with everyone. Nowadays, relationship plays a vital role. Everybody is aware of it. It's not only about product, it's about service. Product maybe, some or the other varying from 25 to 30% when it comes to business. But when it comes to service, it's hovering around 70%, 80%, right? So for that reason, we got to empathize more and you got to empathize properly. It doesn't matter whether you're feeling empathy or not. Honestly, I'm telling you about it. Most of the cases we do not. We don't rather need to. That's what I always say. You just need to follow the process. So for that reason, you have to accept. then you have to apologize. Apologize for making mistake, apologizing for not following the process properly. It's quite inevitable. The only thing that we are lacking in acceptance, and that's the reason it's somehow the other encouraging to not to go for apologizing, and then, as I said, it's reverse proportionate, so our arrogance is going higher. Remember, if your arrogance is higher, you will not be able to empathize and you will lose out everything. Trust me and just try to follow. This is something that we need to talk about more. So this AAA formula, which I'm giving it to you, it's my experience. And if you somehow or the other able to adopt this particular process, you will never ever be able to see that you are missing on something or your performance is dragging. All the time try to empathize, because we all are human beings. But before that, in order to empathize properly, try to learn this AAA formula and work on these 3 A's. If you can do that, you will no longer need to think about empathizing as a process or maybe empathizing as a technique. It will be inculcated in such a way that you will be able to make it possible every time you are trying to get connected, and your human instinct will be modified.